And welcome to parents, school board members, President Joe Fink, relatives, friends, scholarship guests, and especially the seniors to the first annual Senior Scholarship and Awards Ceremony. This special evening will honor your students' hard work and accomplishments over the last 4 years by recognizing them with various scholarships and or awards. Scholarships and awards may vary from student to student, but we must remember is the effort put forth by your son or daughter throughout their career at Merrill Senior High School in order to be here tonight. Choices, challenges, commitment by your child exemplifies what education meant to them. Also, seniors, you earned these awards tonight through your hard work and dedication. But now, you must take a moment to thank your parents for their commitment, for their time, their support. They also are receiving a very special honor tonight, and that is the opportunity to watch you be recognized with an award and your scholarship. I think both of you should be extremely proud of each other's accomplishments throughout your educational path. By all means, I suppose there's some bumps in that pathway. Lastly, we must recognize the individuals and organizations that willingly give thousands of dollars in scholarships every year to our students. As educational costs continue to escalate, the overwhelming support given to our students to continue their post-secondary education far exceeds the statement, commitment to excellence. Each and every one here tonight has made a commitment to excellence. Seniors, continue the tradition, and good luck. Thank you.
We will be following the format as outlined in your programs. And at this time, I would like to introduce a very special senior student. He came a long way. I don't know how far, but I think it's a long way away. It's from Norway. He's our senior exchange student from Norway. We call him Torby Haug, and he would like to come up and make a presentation and a gift to the Merrill Senior High School, where our principal, Mr. Eric Larson, will accept that award. So Torby, if you're out there, if you'd like to please come up at this time, please do so.
I'd like to thank the students and the teachers and the staff here for helping me out this year. I didn't know too much when I came here, so thank you. And I would like to give this, it's a Viking ship so they can sail into the new school next year.
Thank you very much, Torby, and have a safe trip back. And like you said, I hope that we have smooth sailing into our new building. Thanks again.
To start our awards ceremony tonight, I would like to call on the top 10 individuals from the class of 1998. They will be receiving a plaque to show and to be recognized as one of the top 10 students for their particular class. When your name is called, please come up on the stage area where you will be presented with your plaque, and please remain on the stage till all 10 of the individuals are up here to receive your plaque. And I hope all 10 of you are here. William Bruckert, Allison Crevier, Kristen Dabbert, Amanda Hodgson, Rebecca Schwark, Amy Rabarczyk, Paula Goodman, Megan Buch, Cynthia Rowe, and Heath Seafeld. Ladies and gentlemen, the top 10 from the class of 1998. Let's give them a big hand. Outstanding job, seniors, and we'll be looking to see you again up on the stage shortly. And you can return to your seats. Thank you very much. A little format information as the evening progresses. This is a new format that we started at Merrill Senior High School. The names are listed in alphabetical order, and when the students are called as a recipient of an award or scholarship, we'd like to have you please make your way whichever side is convenient, either left or right, to come up on the stage to receive your particular award. Also, any representatives from the scholarships that are being handed out tonight, I'd also encourage you to please feel free to come forward and recognize and acknowledge the individual that is receiving your particular scholarship and award. Don't worry, I won't rush. I'll allow that you have some time to come up here and present your scholarship. So if there are representatives from your particular scholarship in the audience tonight, please feel free to come up onto the stage when the individual is called that is receiving your scholarship. And to start off this evening, our first recipient is Kaylee Adams. Kaylee will be receiving the Beta Sigma Phi Sorority Scholarship. The Beta Sigma Phi Sorority annually presents a scholarship to a deserving senior. And Kaylee is the deserving senior that receives this scholarship. Our second recipient is Seth Elwin. Seth is receiving the Robert and Joanne Upsall Scholarship. Bob and Joanne Upsall spent over a combined total of 50 years as educators in the Merrill Senior High School system. They are providing annual scholarships for 2 students seeking further education who have attended Scott School, where Joanne taught. Again, the recipient is Seth Elwin. Next recipient is Amanda Bloom. Amanda will be receiving the United Paper Workers International Union Scholarship Local 1381 Scholarship, the United Paper Workers International Union Scholarship, the Midwest Dental Scholarship, and lastly, the Wausau Mosney Paper Corporation Foundation Scholarship. Again, the recipient is Amanda Bloom. Our next recipient is William Bruckert. Sorry, that's Bill. Bill is receiving the Mathematics Contest Wisconsin Section Award, the Academic Decathlon Letter, the Rick Geiger Memorial Band Award, the English Award, the Outstanding Vocal Performance Award, the Wisconsin All-State Scholar Award, the Wisconsin Valley Conference Scholar Athlete Award, and he's also receiving the Anson Scholarship. Since 1928, a senior male of Merrill High School has been the recipient of an all-expense 4-year scholarship to the University of Notre Dame. Candidates for this award must have completed all of their work in the Merrill schools. Notre Dame selects the winner in the spring of the senior year, and this year's recipient is Bill Bruckert. Our next recipient is Megan Buch. Megan will be receiving the Lincoln County Association for Home and Community Education Scholarship, the Sam Walton Community Leadership Scholarship, and the Carl and Wella Oren Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship was established by the late Carl Oren, who graduated from Merrill High School in 1932. It will award $1,000 per year for 4 years to a student seeking further education at a college or university. This year's recipient is Megan Buch. Our next recipient is Mark Berger. Mark will be receiving the Robert Klug Athletic Award. He'll also be receiving the Ron Smola Memorial Scholarship. Ron was an avid sportsman who participated in baseball, football, softball, and hunting. This scholarship honors a male and a female who have participated in athletics. This year's recipient of those awards is Mark Berger. Our next recipient is Jenny Kaler. And Jenny is not in attendance tonight. The next recipient is Megan Kaler. Megan is a recipient of the English Award and also the State Forensics Award. Again, Megan Kaler. Our next recipient is Derek Christensen. Derek will be receiving the Nicholas Agricultural Scholarship. The Nicholas Agricultural Scholarship, a gift of the Nicholas family, provides a scholarship of $2,000 to a Merrill's senior high student who plans to attend a college majoring in agriculture or in an agricultural related field. He is also the recipient of the Lions Club Scholarship. The Merrill Evening Lions Club is presenting a scholarship to a senior who will be pursuing further education. He will also be receiving the Lawrence and John Frederick Agricultural Scholarship. This scholarship given in memory of Lawrence and John Frederick, two longtime Lincoln County farmers. It will go to a student pursuing a career in agriculture or a related field. This year's recipient of those three scholarships was Derek Christensen. Our next recipient is Allison Crevier. Allie will be receiving this evening the U.S. Army Reserve Scholar Athlete Award, the Mickelson Athletic Award, the Wisconsin Valley Conference Scholar Athlete Award, the WIA Scholar Athlete Award, the Wisconsin All-State Scholar Award. Included is the Vilas Scholarship, the Herb Cole Scholarship, the Merrill Area University of Wisconsin Alumni Club Scholarship, and the local chapter of UW-Madison alumni gives a scholarship to a student who will be attending the Madison campus. She'll also receive the Optimist Club Scholarship. Each month throughout the school year, the Merrill Optimist Club selects a student of the month, an individual who has distinguished him or herself by services to others. The club has selected two of these three students to receive a scholarship of $1,500. Allie is also receiving the Academic Excellence Higher Education Scholarship. The state of Wisconsin and the Higher Education Aids Board will award scholarships to the excellent students in all Wisconsin high schools. These scholarships will provide for exemption from tuition and fees for up to 4 years of further education at a Wisconsin institution. And last but not least, she will also receive the Ronald and Ellen Nicholas Scholarship. We are pleased to award the Ronald and Ellen Nicholas Scholarship, which is a 4-year, $1,500 per year scholarship to a graduating senior who has demonstrated scholastic achievement and involvement in extracurricular activities. All these awards and these scholarships are presented to this year's recipient, Allison Crevier. Our next recipient is Kristen Dabbert. Kristen will be receiving the awards of Academic Decathlon Letters, Science Olympiad Award, Tandy Technology Scholar, Central Wisconsin Math League. She'll also be receiving the Wisconsin Academic Excellence Scholarship. She'll also receive the Herbert F. and Elizabeth Genzel Scholarship. A bequest from the Genzel family provides a 4-year scholarship to UW-Madison for a deserving graduate of Merrill High who has distinguished record in academic and extracurricular participation. This year's recipient of those awards and scholarship is Kristen Dabbert. Just have a message before we go on. John and Carrie Kufall, please report to the foyer area if you're in attendance. And Jim and Darlene Cohnhorst, if you're in attendance, please report to the foyer area at this time. And our next recipient this year is Stacy Dewey. Stacy will be receiving the State Forensics Award. She'll also be receiving the Good Samaritan Healthcare Center Scholarship. Good Samaritan awards a $1,000 four-year scholarship to a student pursuing higher education in a health-related field. Stacy will also be receiving the Carl's Food Lane Berg Scholarship. The owners and employees of Carl's Food Lane are given an annual scholarship funded by their Employee of the Month program. This scholarship will go to a student who has been involved in extracurricular activities and who has also worked part-time. This year's recipient of that award and those scholarships is Stacy Dewey. Our next recipient is Jason Ellis. Jason this year will be receiving the award of the Academic Decathlon Letter. The recipient is Jason Ellis. Our next recipient is Ann Earl. This year, Ann receives the award of Outstanding Vocal Performance. This year's recipient, again, Ann Earl. Our next recipient is Adam Evans. Adam will be receiving the English Award, the State's Forensics Awards, and the Wisconsin Valley Conference Scholar Athlete Award. Again, this year's recipient of those awards is Adam Evans. Our next recipient is Jody Fink. Jody this year will be receiving the Frank Roscoe's Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship serves to honor the memory of Frank Roscoe's, a Merrill educator. This former agricultural and later exceptional education teacher became the first director of special education in the Merrill School District. This scholarship is awarded to a student pursuing a career working with individuals with disabilities. This year's recipient is Jody Fink. Our next recipient is Patrick Goddardman. Patrick this year will be receiving the Wisconsin Valley Conference Scholar Athlete Award. He'll also be receiving the Silver M Memorial Scholarship. The Silver M Club of Merrill, an organization of men who lettered in football here 25 or more years ago, is awarding 2 scholarships to 2 graduating seniors who have lettered in football. The first scholarship is in memory of Robert J.B. Bob Klug, class of 1936. This year's recipient of the awards and scholarships is Patrick Goddardman. Our next recipient is Dane Garriman. Dane will be receiving the Wisconsin Valley Conference Scholar Athlete Award, as well as the W.A. Marquardt Scholarship. The family of W.A. Marquardt has established scholarships for worthy students who are pursuing higher education. This year's recipient of the award and scholarship is Dane Garriman. Our next recipient is Donald Genrick. Don this year will be receiving the Elwin Remington Foundation Scholarship. The Elwin Remington Foundation was established by Al Remington, retired businessman and former owner of Remington Motors in Antigo. The foundation wishes to support students of Merrill Senior High School interested in pursuing higher education. They have established 4 $500 scholarships.
Down, nice to know you. Thank you. Good luck. There has to be one different in every crowd.
That's okay. Thanks very much.
Okay.
Don will also be receiving the Gleason Lions Club Scholarship. The Gleason Lions are offering a scholarship to a student who lives in the Midway Elementary attendance area and will be furthering their education. The recipient of those 2 scholarships, again, Donald Genrick. Our next recipient is Kimberly Jackalone. And Kim could not be with us tonight. Our next recipient is Paul Goodman. Paul will be receiving the Academic Decathlon Participation Award. He will also be receiving the Central Bible College Academic Scholarship. He will also receive the Kiwanis Club Scholarship. The Kiwanis Club of Merrill, supporting the youth of the area, is awarding a $500 scholarship to a student seeking higher education. This year's recipient of those awards and scholarships, Paul Goodman. Our next recipient is Stephanie Gravel. Stephanie will be receiving the Academic Decathlon Participation Award, the State's Forensics Award, the Concert Choir Award, the Carnegie Mellon Scholarship, and also receiving the Merrill Teachers Association Scholarship Award. Those people who serve the Merrill School District as a professional educators are making 2 awards of $1,500 a year for 4 years to students who will be furthering their education at a 4-year college or university. This year's recipient of those awards and those scholarships, Stephanie Gravel. Our next recipient is Corinne Griffey. Corey this year will be receiving the Central Wisconsin Association of Life Underwriters Wisconsin Valley Chapter Award. Again, the recipient this year, Corey Griffey. Our next recipient is Nicole Griffey. And Nicole is not with us tonight as well. Next recipient is Jennifer Gremler. This year, Jenny will be receiving the Business Co-op Skill Certification and Award. Again, this year's recipient is Jennifer Gremler. Our next recipient is Hunter Gross. Hunter will be receiving the Academic Decathlon Letter, as well as the Lee J. and Lillian Leidiger O'Reilly Scholarship. This award is a 4-year scholarship to the University of Wisconsin-Madison for a worthy graduate of Merrill High School. The winner must have distinguished himself by academic achievement. This year's recipient is Hunter Gross. The next recipient is Amanda Hodgson. Amanda this year will be receiving the Science Olympiad Award, as well as the University of Minnesota Duluth Academic Achievement Scholarship. Also included is the Genevieve M. Bowl Scholarship. This scholarship is given annually to a deserving graduating senior. This year's recipient again, Amanda Hodgson. Our next recipient is Stephanie Huffman. Stephanie will be receiving the Walter and Mabel Fromm Scholarship. The Fromm family presents an annual 4-year scholarship to students who attended Maple Grove School and have maintained a 2.5 or better GPA throughout high school. This award will be used at the Wisconsin College of the recipient's choice. Again, the recipient this year, Stephanie Huffman. Our next recipient is Torby Haug. Torby, we would like to send you with an award back to Norway, and this year it's the Science Olympiad Award. Again, Torby Haug from Norway. Well, Torby said he didn't know a lot when he came here, but it's nice to have him receive a special award. He must have did really well in science, and good luck in Norway. Our next recipient is Melissa Hubert. Melissa this year is receiving the Academic Decathlon Letter Award. Again, the recipient this year, Melissa Hubert. Our next recipient is Jamie Janish. Jamie this year will be receiving the Mitchell Metal Products Scholarship. Mitchell Metals Products is presenting two $1,000 scholarships to students who will be pursuing higher education at either a college or a technical school in a vocational or technical field. This year's recipient, Jamie Janish. Our next recipient is Corey Kisselberg. Corey this year will be receiving the Carroll College Presidential Scholarship and also the Ron Smola Memorial Scholarship. Ron was an avid sportsman who participated in baseball, football, softball, and hunting. This scholarship honors a male and a female who have participated in athletics. This year's recipient of those two scholarships, Corey Kisselberg. Our next recipient is Jill Klockzheim. Jill this year will be receiving the CNA Student Achievement Award as well as the Walter and Mabel Fromm Scholarship. Again, the Fromm family presents an annual 4-year scholarship to students who have attended Maple Grove School and have maintained a 2.5 or better GPA throughout high school. This award will be used at the Wisconsin College of the recipient's choice. Again, that recipient this year, Jill Klockzheim. Our next recipient is Matthew Kaler. Matt will be receiving the Rotary Club Technical Scholarship and also the Park City Credit Union Scholarship. The Park City Credit Union is awarding 2 scholarships to graduating seniors planning to attend North Central Technical College. Again, this year's recipient of those 2 scholarships, Matthew Kaler. Our next recipient is Shauna Kaler. Shauna this year will be receiving the Academic Decathlon Letter Award. This year's recipient, Shauna Kaler. Our next recipient is Nathan Kohnhorst. Nathan this year will be receiving the Walter and Mabel Fromm Scholarship. Again, the Fromm family presents an annual 4-year scholarship to a student who have attended Maple Grove School and have maintained a 2.5 or better GPA through their high school career. This award will be used at the Wisconsin College of the recipient's choice. Again, this year's recipient, Nathan Kohnhorst. Our next recipient is Autumn Kohler. Autumn this year will be receiving the DC Motors Scholarship. DC Motors is instituting an annual scholarship designed to encourage young people to pursue a career in electronics or a related field. This year's recipient is Autumn Kohler. Our next recipient is Liza Lobbs. Liza this year will be receiving 2 scholarships. First will be the County Concrete Scholarship. The second will be the Wausau Area Builders Scholarship. Again, the recipient of those 2 scholarships, Liza Lobbs. Our next recipient is Kimberly Lotzik. Kim this year will be receiving the Park City Credit Union Scholarship. The Park City Credit Union is awarding 2 scholarships to graduating seniors planning to attend North Central Technical College. This year's recipient, again, Kimberly Lotzik. Our next recipient is Kara Leibzig. And she is not present tonight. Our next recipient is Aaron Lutsky. Aaron will be receiving the Alan C. Vecchio Scholarship. This scholarship is given in memory of Alan C. Vecchio, a 1985 graduate of Merrill High School. His family has designed the scholarship for a student who is handicapped or preparing for work in the field of the handicapped. This year's recipient is Aaron Lutsky. Our next recipient is Heidi Mathis. She is on her way to Madison right now. I just wanted to denote she is our Special Olympian of the Year. So if you see her, wish her congratulations. She's heading down to Madison to do some more educational searching. Our next recipient is Jennifer Mensching. Jenny will be receiving the English Award as well as the Merrill Rotary Club Scholarship. As in the past, the Merrill Rotarians are recognizing a deserving senior. The name that will be added to the plaque in the Senior High Library and be presented with the $6,000 scholarship is, again, Jenny Mensching. Our next recipient is Marie Mignor. Marie this year will be receiving the UW Platteville Chancellor's Scholarship. Again, our recipient this year, Marie Mignor. Our next recipient is Becky Meyer. Becky this year has received the Business Co-op Skill Certification Award. Again, recipient this year, Becky Meyer. Our next recipient is Elizabeth Mileszczak. Elizabeth this year is receiving the Pine Ridge Restaurant Scholarship. Pine Ridge offers annual scholarships awarded to students who will be pursuing further education and have been employed at the restaurant. Again, this year's recipient, Elizabeth Mileszczak. Our next recipient is Becky Noss. Becky this year is receiving the Scott School Scholarship. She is also receiving the Robert and Joanne Upsall Scholarship. Again, Bob and Joanne Upsall spent over a combined total of 50 years as educators in the Merrill school system. They are providing annual scholarships for 2 students seeking further education who have attended Scott School where Joanne taught. This year's recipient of those scholarships, again, is Becky Noss. Our next recipient is Holly Nino. Holly this year is receiving the UW Stevens Point Paper Science Scholarship. She is also receiving the Knights of Columbus Scholarship. The Father Rene Menard Council of the Knights of Columbus presents its 5th annual scholarship. Preference is given to a student who attended 1 or more grades at St. Francis Middle School. Again, your recipient this year, Holly Nino. And our next recipient is Alec Noko. Alec this year is receiving the Wisconsin Valley Conference Scholar Athlete Award. Again, this year's recipient, Alec Noko. Our next recipient is Nicole Opper. Nicole this year is receiving the Business Co-op Skill Certificate and Award. She is also receiving the Pine River PTO Scholarship, and she's also receiving the Rotary Club Ntc Scholarship. The Merrill Rotarians award a scholarship to a student attending a technical school. This year's winner and recipient of other scholarships and awards is Nicole Opper. Our next recipient is Dustin Pogor. Dustin this year will be receiving the Wisconsin Valley Conference Scholar Athlete Award, the Lawrence University Alumni Scholarship, and the Silver M Memorial Scholarship. The Silver M Club of Merrill, an organization of men who lettered in football here 25 or more years ago, is awarding 2 scholarships to 2 graduating seniors who have lettered in football. This scholarship is in memory of Alfred M.W. Fred Lapsenberg, class of 1929. This year's recipient of those scholarships, again, Dustin Pagoria. Our next recipient is Aaron Peterson. This year, Aaron will be receiving the W.A. Marquardt Scholarship. The family of W.A. Marquardt has established scholarships for worthy students who are pursuing higher education. She is also receiving the Elwin Remington Foundation Scholarship. The Elwin Remington Foundation was established by Al Remington, retired businessman and former owner of Remington Motors in Antigo. The foundation wishes to support students of Merrill Senior High School interested in pursuing higher education. They have established 4 $500 scholarships. Again, this year's recipient of those 2 scholarships is Aaron Peterson. Our next recipient is Stacy Pike. Stacy this year will be receiving the Academic Decathlon Letter Award. She'll also be receiving the Social and Sick Benefits Society Scholarship. The Social and Sick Benefits Society Scholarship is interested in Merrill and the future of its youth and provides a $2,000 scholarship to a student pursuing further education. This year's recipient of those awards and scholarships, again, Stacy Pike. Our next recipient is Jonathan Plish. This year, John is receiving the Walter and Mabel Fromm Scholarship for a 2-year technical school. Again, the recipient, Jonathan Plish. Our next recipient is Jessica Ratman. And and Jessica's not with us tonight. Our next recipient is Katina Rice. And Katina's not with us also. Next recipient is Laura Rice. Laura this year will be receiving the Wisconsin Elks Association Award, the Wausau Elks Association Award, the Central Wisconsin Association of Life Underwriters Wisconsin Valley Chapter Award, and she'll also be receiving the Herbert F. and Elizabeth Genzel Scholarship. A bequest from the Genzel family provides a 4-year scholarship to UW-Madison for a deserving graduate of Merrill High, who has a distinguished record in academics and extracurricular participation. This year's recipient of those awards and that scholarship is Laura Rice. Our next recipient is Cynthia Roll. Cynthia this year will be receiving the Wisconsin Valley Conference Scholar Athlete Award and also the Merrill Professional Police Association Scholarship. The Merrill Police are giving a scholarship designed to encourage young people to pursue a career in law enforcement. This year's recipient of that award and that scholarship, Cynthia Rowe. Our next recipient is Amy Rabarchek. Amy this year will be receiving the John Philip Sousa Band Award. She'll also be receiving the Church Mutual Scholarship. The Church Mutual Insurance Company is again awarding scholarships in the amount of $2,800 to children of employees who plan to attend college. Eligibility is based upon scholarship, achievement, and demonstrated school and community activities. She is also receiving the Martin and Marcella Lonnie Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship has been given to Merrill High School by the late Marcella Lonnie as a memorial to her husband, Martin, and herself. It will award $1,000 per year for 4 years to a student seeking further education at a college or university. Again, the recipient of that award and those scholarships, Amy Rabarchek. Our next recipient is Nathan Schulp.
This is going to be the last time.
It's okay.
You can hand it to this one.
Nathan this year will be receiving the Ntc Foundation Scholarship, the Mitchell Metal Products Scholarship. Mitchell Metals Products is presenting 3 $1,000 scholarships to students who will be pursuing higher education at either a college or technical school in a vocational or technical field, and also the Elwin Remington Foundation Scholarship. The Elwin Remington Foundation was established by Al Remington, retired businessman and former owner of Remington Motors in Antigo. The foundation wishes to support students of Merrill Senior High School interested in pursuing higher education. They have established 4 $500 scholarships. Again, this year's recipients of those 3 scholarships, Nathan Schulp. Our next recipient is Bernie Shelbert. Bernie this year will be receiving the Business Co-op Skill Certificate Award and also the Outstanding Business Ed Student Award. And I'd also like to state we had a very nice plaque that we'd like to present to you tonight, but it is packed up and is in transit between this school and the new senior high. We will make sure that your name will be on that plaque and displayed at the new high school. Again, this year's recipient of those 2 awards, Bernie Shelbert. Our next recipient is Rebecca Schleif. Rebecca this year will be receiving the Science Olympiad Award, the CNA Student Achievement Award. She'll also be receiving the FFA Alumni Scholarship. The Merrill FFA Alumni presents $1,000 scholarships to outstanding senior FFA members preparing for a career in agriculture or agribusiness. The scholarships are made possible through proceeds from the Lincoln County June Dairy Breakfast. She is also receiving the Pine Ridge Restaurant Scholarship. Pine Ridge offers annual scholarships awarded to students who will be pursuing further education and have been employed at the restaurant. She is also receiving the UW Oshkosh Chancellor's Leadership Scholarship. She is also receiving the Lincoln County Association for Home and Community Education 4-H Scholarship. This scholarship is awarded annually to a student who will major in family, consumer education, agriculture, or health-related fields. And lastly, she will also be receiving the Pine River PTO Scholarship. The recipient this year of those awards and those scholarships, again, Rebecca Schleif. Our next recipient this year is Matthew Schmunk. Matt this year will be receiving the Academic Decathlon Letter Award, the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award, and he will also be receiving the Air Force ROTC Scholarship. Again, this year's recipient of those awards and scholarship, Matthew Schmunk. Our next recipient is Rebecca Schwark. Rebecca this year will be receiving the Science Olympiad Award, the Wisconsin All-State Scholar Award. She'll also be receiving the Academic Excellent Higher Education Scholarship. Again, the state of Wisconsin and the Higher Educational Aids Board will award scholarships to the excellent students in all Wisconsin high schools. These scholarships will provide for exemption from tuition and fees for up to 4 years of further education at a Wisconsin institution. Rebecca is also receiving the Lee J. and Lillian Lidiger O'Reilly Scholarship. This award is a 4-year scholarship to the University of Wisconsin-Madison for a worthy graduate of Merrill High School. The winner must have distinguished herself by academic achievement. Again, the recipient of those awards and those 2 scholarships, Rebecca Schwark. Our next recipient is Heath Seafeld. Heath this year will be receiving the United States Army Reserve Scholar Athlete Award. He will also be receiving the Wisconsin Valley Conference Scholar Athlete Award, the WIA Scholar Athlete Award, and he will also be receiving the Church Mutual Scholarship. The Church Mutual Insurance Company is again awarding scholarships in the amount of $2,800 to children of employees who plan to attend college. Eligibility is based upon scholarship, achievement, and demonstrated school and community activity. This year's recipient of those awards and that scholarship, again, Heath Seafeld. Our next recipient is Emily Seidel. Emily this year will be receiving the Lincoln County Sportsman Club Scholarship. The Lincoln County Sportsman Club annually presents a scholarship to a Merrill graduate who will be pursuing a career in the area of environmental studies. This year's recipient of that scholarship is Emily Seidel. Our next recipient is Michael Smith. Michael this year will be receiving the UW Stevens Point Foundation Scholarship. Again, this year's recipient, Michael Smith. Our next recipient is Glenn Strzezuski. Glenn this year will be receiving the Young American Bowling Alliance Scholarship. The adult bowlers of Merrill wish to pay tribute to the young bowlers of the community by annually presenting scholarships. Again, this year's recipient is Glenn Strzezuski. Our next recipient is Eric Tucker. Eric this year will be receiving the Walter and Mabel Fromm Scholarship. The Fromm family presents an annual 4-year scholarship to students who have attended Maple Grove School and have maintained a 2.5 or better GPA throughout high school. This award will be used at the Wisconsin College of the recipient's choice. Again, that recipient is Eric Tucker. Our next recipient is Joe Vandergeest. Joe this year will be receiving the Printing Youth Apprenticeship Certificate Award and also the Rindell Printing Scholarship. The Rindell Printing Company offers a scholarship to a student who will be enrolling in a printing program at a college or technical school. Again, this year's recipient, Joe Vandergeest. Our next recipient is Bella Vandervoort. Bella this year is receiving the Mathematics Contest Wisconsin Section Award and again the Walter and Mabel Fromm Scholarship. The Fromm family presents an annual 4-year scholarship to students who have attended Maple Grove School and have maintained a 2.5 or better GPA throughout high school. This award will be used at the Wisconsin College of the recipient's choice. Again, this year, the recipient of those scholarships and awards, Bella Vandervoort. Our next recipient is Katie Vondre. Katie this year will be receiving the CNA Student Achievement Award, also the J.S. Mirzak Scholarship, and also the Shirlane Drew Memorial Scholarship. Mr. and Mrs. Shirley Drew, in memory of their daughter, Shirlane, a 1978 graduate of Merrill Senior High, present a scholarship to deserving student who has participated in sports and will be attending either UW-Madison or UW-Green Bay. Again, this year's recipient of that award and those scholarships, Katie Vondre. Our next recipient is Christy Watsolowick. Christy this year will be receiving the Wisconsin Valley Conference Scholar Athlete Award. She'll also be receiving the Young American Bowling Alliance Scholarship. The adult bowlers of Merrill wish to pay tribute to the young bowlers of the community by annually presenting scholarships. She is also receiving the Merrill Teachers Association Award. Those people who serve the Merrill School District as a professional educators are making 2 awards of $1,500 a year for 4 years to students who will be furthering their education at a 4-year college or university. Again, this year's recipient of those scholarships and that award is Christy Watsolowick. Our next recipient is Steve Wythe. Steve this year will be receiving the Wisconsin Valley Conference Scholar Athlete Award. Again, this year's recipient, Steve Wythe. Our next recipient is Teresa Welch. Teresa this year will be receiving the Academic Decathlon Participation Award, also the Viterbo College Scholarship. She'll also be receiving the Walter and Mabel Fromm Scholarship, a scholarship that is presented annually for a 4-year individual who have attended Maple Grove School and have maintained a 2.5 or better GPA throughout high school. This award will be used at the Wisconsin College of the recipient's choice. Again, the recipient of those awards and scholarships, Teresa Welch. Our next recipient is Michael Wendorf. This year, Michael will be receiving the Optimist Club Scholarship. Each month throughout the school year, the Merrill Optimist Club selects a student of the month, an individual who has distinguished him or herself by service to others. Also receiving is the Merrill Wrestling Club Scholarship. The Merrill Wrestling Club awards an annual scholarship to a graduating senior wrestler who will be pursuing higher education. This year's recipient of those 2 scholarships, Michael Wendorf. Our next recipient is Renee White. Renee this year will be receiving the Park City Agricultural Scholarship. Park City Credit Union awards an annual scholarship to a student who has been a participant in 4-H and/or agricultural classes. She'll also be receiving the Walter and Mabel Fromm Scholarship. The Fromm family presents an annual 4-year scholarship to students who have attended Maple Grove School and have maintained a 2.5 or better grade point average throughout high school. This award will be used at the Wisconsin College of the recipient's choice. Again, this year's recipient of those 2 scholarships, Renee White. Our next recipient is Ben Williams. Ben this year is receiving the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award. And this year's recipient, Ben Williams. Our next recipient is Jason Yingling. Jason this year will be receiving the Pine River PTO Scholarship, the Church Mutual Trade and Technical School Scholarship, and the Nicolet College Foundation Student Cabinet Scholarship. Again, the recipient of those scholarships, Jason Yingling. Our next recipient is Jacob Zastro. Jacob this year is receiving the Wisconsin Valley Conference Scholar Athlete Award, the United Paper Workers International Union Scholarship, Local 1381, United Paper Workers International Foundation Union Scholarship, and the David B. Smith and Catherine Stone Smith Foundation Scholarship. The David B. Smith and Catherine Stone Smith Foundation awards a $1,500 scholarship each year to a deserving graduate senior. This year's recipient again for those awards and scholarships, Jacob Zastro. And our next recipient is Jeremiah Zielsdorf. Jeremiah this year is receiving the Merrill Riders Club Scholarship, and he'll also be receiving the Young American Bowling Alliance Scholarship. The adult bowlers of Merrill wish to pay tribute to the young bowlers of the community by annually presenting scholarships. This year's recipient of those two scholarships, Jeremiah Zielsdorf. The next presentation that we would like to make is our 1998 Senior Letter Award winners. Seniors with 5 or more varsity letters are asked, when their name is read, to please come up. We'd like to let you know, first of all, that we did not include them in the program. It was an oversight, but we would like to honor those students at this particular time. As your name is called, seniors, please come forward, and please stand forward until everybody has received their plaque. Kate Banzer, Allison Crevier, Adam Evans, and I'm going to back up just a minute. Kate Banzer received 5 varsity letters. Allison Crevier received 6 letters. Adam Evans received 7 letters. Chester Ferriman received 6 letters. Jamie Janowich received 5 letters. Corey Kisselberg received 6 letters. Marie Minure received 6 letters. Dustin Pogor received 7 letters. Troy Pieper received 6 letters. Andrew Rajak received 6 letters. Heath Seafeld received 10 letters. And Katie Vondre received 9 letters. Here's our 5 or more varsity letter winners for the senior class of 1998. Let's give them a big hand, please. Thank you very much. Gives me great pleasure at this time to read a memo sent to us from the White House of Washington, dated 1998. Congratulations on receiving the President's Education Awards. Mrs. Clinton and I are happy to join your teachers, family, and friends in recognizing this wonderful achievement. This award is a special recognition of your hard work and determination to make the most of your abilities. Whether you go on to advanced studies or begin a career, I encourage you to make the most of your education and become lifelong learners. By doing so, you can broaden your world, discover new ideas, and help to lead our country in the 21st century. Whatever path you choose, I hope you will always reach out to help others. Continue to set high goals and believe in yourself. Best wishes for a future fulfilled with happiness and success, President and Mrs. Bill Clinton. That's Mrs. Clinton and President Bill Clinton. And the award winners, I'd like to call up, please. As your name is called, please come up the stage, receive your award from Mr. Larson, and you can make your way down off the stage. If you'd like to all come from stage left and proceed to stage right and exit, that would be great. William Bruckert, Megan Buch, Derek Christensen, Allison Crevier, Kristen Dabbert, Jason Daly, Jason Ellis, Adam Evans, Patrick Goddardman, Dane Gehrman, Jennifer Geis, Paul Goodman, Stephanie Gravel, Hunter Gross, Amanda Hodgson, Matthew Kaler, Joseph Meehan, Jennifer Mensching, Marie Menure, Noel Nino, Alec Noko, Tara Ullman, Dustin Pagoria, Jessica Ratman, Laura Rice, Cynthia Rowe, Melissa Runge, Amy Rabarchek, Rebecca Schleif, Matthew Schmunk, Rebecca Schwark, Heath Seafeld, Joshua Thom, Bella Vandervoort, Christy Watsolowick, Stephen White, Michael Wendorf, Kelly Wendt, Jason Yingling, Jacob Zastro. Again, those individuals are the recipients of the Presidential Academic Achievement Award. Let's give those individuals a great big hand. And lastly, we would like to present our gold tassels to our graduating seniors that obtained a 3.0 for 7 semesters. You will see these tassels once again in a week from today at graduation, where these individuals will place them on their mortarboards and display them for academic excellence. At this time, I will call the seniors again by alphabetical order. Please come up again, stage left, come across and exit stage right, and get your gold tassel from Mr. Larson. Kaylee Adams, Luke Aiken, Jeremy Akey, Seth Elwin, Rick Ament, Catherine Banster, Amanda Bloom, Bill Bruckert, Megan Buch, Mark Berger, Jenny Kaler, Megan Kaler, Derek Christensen, Allison Crevier, Kristen Dabbert, Tina Dietrich, Stacy Dewey, Jason Ellis, Adam Evans, Chester Ferriman, Jody Fink, Patrick Goddardman, Dane Gehrman, Jennifer Geis, Donald Genrick, Paul Goodman, Stephanie Gravel, Corinne Griefey, Hunter Gross, Damian Lee Hansen, Scott Hermanson, Amanda Hodgson, Dan Huff, Melissa Ann Hubert, Jamie Janowish, Corey Kisselberg, Jill Klockzheim, Matthew Kaler, Shauna Kaler, Liza Lobbs, Kimberly Latzik, Rachel Lee, Teresa Lewis, Kara Livesey, Aaron Lutsky, Joseph Meehan, Jennifer Menching, Marie Mignor, Becky Nass, Holly Nino, Noel Nino, Alec Noko, Tara Ullman, Dustin Pagoria, Jeremy Parks, Aaron Peterson, Stacy Pike, Jessica Ratman, Laura Rice, Bobby Richards, Melissa Ritchie, Cynthia Rowe, Melissa Runge, Amy Rabarchek, Nathan Schaup, Bernie Shelbert, Rebecca Schleif, Angela Schmidt, Daniel Schmidt, Matthew Schmunk, April Schneider, Bernard Schneider, Joshua Schöpfer, Lisa Schroeder, Rebecca Schwark, Heath Seafeld, Michael Smith, Grant Stevenson, John Taylor, Stephanie Thureen, Joshua Thom, Bella Vandervoort, Katie Vondre, Corey Wade, Amy Wise, Christy Watsolowick, Stephen Wythe, Teresa Welch, Michael Wendorf, Kelly Wendt, Benjamin Williams, Chrissy Wood, Jason Yingling, Jacob Zastru, and Amelia Ziesmer. Again, these individuals have attained a 3.0 for 7 semesters and are the recipients of this year's gold tassels. Let's give them a big round of applause, and let's continue till they're off the stage. At this time, that is the conclusion of our awards and scholarships program. But before we leave, I'd like to make a couple thank yous. Again, on the stage with Mr. Larson, our principal at Merrill Senior High School, was Ellen Bartling. She was our scholarship coordinator and took refuge in the office right next to me. She's quite a busy individual because I know the door was slamming back and forth quite a few times, and she was running out, making sure packets and scholarships and everything was done properly. With her effort that she put in, I think it's outstanding that all the paperwork is distributed. Good luck, seniors. Also, to Mr. Tom Andreska, who hurriedly put together this program through many changes and spell checks and moving things around. He does an outstanding job for us. This was printed by our students and here at Merrill Senior High School. So if you see Mr. Andreska, thank him, please. Our secretarial staff did an outstanding job compiling information and keeping track of what's been given out and what hasn't been given out. Also our food service, because after this particular awards ceremony, you can make your way down into our new cafeteria and get some hors d'oeuvres and some snacks and a little beverage. Since it's very hot, by all means, take advantage of that. Again, we'd like to thank you for coming to the first annual Scholarship and Senior Awards Night. I hope you enjoyed it. Next year, again, I hope it's bigger and better with more individuals and more representation from the individuals giving out the scholarships. It's an unbelievable amount of givings through the community for these young people to go on to post-secondary education. Best of luck, seniors. Study, study, study. Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen, would you please stay standing and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. Thank you. Good evening. I'd like to welcome you, parents, relatives, friends.